Hi, Laura Desiree here. Today it is September 9th, 2020. And 24 hours ago, I asked you to submit your Ask Me Anything questions on Instagram. And I meant it. Ask me anything. And one of my greatest strengths, one of my ultimate talents and passions in this world is talking about myself. So I thought, hey, why don't we do an uninterrupted, extended video of me answering all of your questions, one by one by one. Nothing is being kept from you. Today, we answer all of them. Would you ever do girl on girl with Romy Rain? I mean, yeah, not necessarily for your viewing pleasure, but my God, are you kidding me? You've seen her, right? You've laid eyes on Romy Rain, right? I mean, there's nothing about that woman that isn't entirely irresistible. I think she's one of the sexiest people I've ever met in my life, and I get to hold her close, so lucky me. Does Romy Rain taste good? This is an interesting question because I kind of have enough experience with Romy to answer it. I mean, the answer is absolutely yes. I think our tongues have gotten really close many, many times. I'm sure you've seen the pictures. We posed for a lot of them together. Romy Rain always smells good, and the closeness and the close capacity that I've had to the inside of her mouth, she absolutely tastes good, okay? She's big on hygiene. Let's see here. Have you ever skinny dipped? Is it something you like? I love skinny dipping. I think it's very much an entry level experience for people that want to get more comfortable with their bodies and in an interesting way more comfortable with their sexuality. I mean, a lot of people tie their experiences with skinny dipping, or actually the roots of their skinny dipping experiences come from doing it with a partner or a love interest or someone really special to them that they wanted to experience something fun and wild with. And yes, I certainly have a lot of those experiences. I've also gotten into bodies of water and removed my clothing once I was in there. I'm sure some of you know what I'm talking about. Miami Beach is a crazy place. But nowadays, my most recent skinny dipping experiences have actually been with gal pals. And it's something that you do when you're out in nature, maybe at a cottage or camping somewhere, and the moon is really big and bright, and you say, let's do it, let's skinny dip. Because there's nothing as good as that feeling. I mean, it's one thing to be immersed in water with some of that clothing to confine you, but it's another thing to be completely one with it. So if you haven't skinny dipped yet, you absolutely have to. Okay, Obama or Trudeau? This one rips me right down the core. As a dual citizen, obviously I have to pay attention to leaders on both sides of things. I was living in New York when Obama was elected president, and I have to say that that was one of the most uproarious, celebratory, and incredible feelings to experience. I was in Brooklyn, and I remember the neighborhoods gathering, everyone just getting together. So part of me wants to go with Obama on this one. It was a historic moment. It was an unforgettable moment to have lived through. And I mean, we're talking about an incredible human being. So I would say Obama. Sorry, Canada. I mean, Trudeau is sexy as fuck. Don't get me wrong. Here we go. Are you single? Love this question. This is one that I get asked a lot. And over time, something that I've realized that's been a big key to my sanity and my mental well-being at all times is to really just keep that element of my life private. Okay? If I'm on the prowl, you will know it. But for the sake of the intimacy that I value really closely with people that I do seek out as partners in life, I like to keep that as a very special, contained, and private relationship. If you could know the absolute and total truth to one question, what question would you ask? Such a good and fucking challenging question. I mean, do you just go with the basic and say, what happens when we die? Part of me doesn't want to know that answer. You know what I mean? Part of me is concerned that the reality of that truly is that everything goes black There's nothing else. It's the end. You don't care though, because it's the end and there's no longer an awareness. There's no longer a soul inside of you to want to live. I can't imagine what it's like. That's definitely one question. But, then there's a million others. I was raised by conspiracy theorists. So for me, do I want to know the truth about JFK? 100%. I would love to know what actually happened in Dallas. I want to know the truth of that magic fucking bullet theory. I would like to know how Stonehenge was built. I would like to know how the pyramids were built. I would like to know if there are truly aliens in Roswell. I know we know that there are, but let's take it one step further. If I could know the truth to anything, it would be visual evidence of those aliens, but confirmed. Maybe I need to be there. That's what I'm hoping for. Okay. Have you done anal? Very popular question. I have. It's not something that I crave. It's not something that I, beg for. I know a lot of people that is their home run in the bedroom. They require that, and that's just not for me. There's an intense amount of preparation that goes into doing it so that everyone can enjoy their time. Any regrets? Oof, that's always a tough one, isn't it? I mean, it's the human thing to say absolutely regrets. Absolutely, there have been regrets in life, but I'm trying not to focus on them so much. The more that I live in the past, the less that I'm able to make decisions in the here and now. And the less I'm able to clearly patch together a future, an end goal that I want to make happen. So regrets, absolutely. I left New York City a little sooner than I had wanted to. A bit of a regret, I gotta say. I think about it and I miss it all the time. So we'll go with that one. Here we go. You come to India. I would love to go to India. I have so many friends in the last couple of years that are making the trip. They're doing it, they're coming back changed. They're having experiences that we can't even imagine. There's, such a beautiful adventure that awaits in India, and I would love to go. I went to film school, and there was a guy who was probably my best friend there, and he was from Mumbai. And I've always wanted to make the trip out there. I've always wanted to go for that nice long stay. You cannot do a visit to a destination like India and plan to do it in a week. I would know that that's something I need to slot off a month for. So hopefully down the line. What piece of classical music makes you misty every time you hear it? What a fabulous question. I actually had to look up the name of this piece because I never know what it's called. I think I heard it on a ballet compilation or maybe a classical music world's greatest compilation, a CD years and years and years ago. And it's Tchaikovsky's Piano Concerto 1, Opus 23. Is that what OP means? What a beautiful piece of music. It's got that big booming intro. Bum, 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 bum. Doom, doom, and then the piano comes in, and then the strings come in, and I mean, I don't know how you can't be moved by that. I weep for it. It's such a beautiful piece of music. It's cinematic. It's something that when you put it on, when you're listening to it, even in earbuds, you immediately are just transported to a beautiful fantasy sequence. So yeah, I would say that one for me is my go-to. And maybe I'll drop it in the comments below so it's easier for you to find and me to relocate when I'm ready to be in my feelings. When are you coming to Dubai? Let's meet because you are welcome. Well, thank you for extending such a beautiful invitation. I'd love to go to Dubai. It's certainly on my hit list. Dubai, I'm coming for you. Hopefully soon. I love these questions when I get ones that are a little bit more of demands than anything else. Can we please see gorgeous pair of your legs? First of all, thank you for calling out my most favorite feature of mine. I'm a big leg person. I'm a big self leg person. I love my legs. I do also love legs photographed beautifully. So if you want to check some of that out, I mean, you're on my Instagram. There's a bunch of legs there for you. And if you want to take it one step further, click the link in my bio. There's some more legs for you. I'm your biggest fan in the military. Text me. And then the number. I love how daring people can be. I just don't think I would ever send a stranger my phone number over a social media platform. If we were to duet any musical song, what would it be and how soon? LOL. For this specific request, let's see. Off the top of my head, I'm going to a controversial territory here, and I have to say, Paradise by the Dashboard Light, Meatloaf. Yeah, I know, not loved by everyone out there. Certainly a love or hate situation, but I am a goddamn theatrical motherfucker, so I'd probably say that one. Or I would do anything for love, but I won't do that. Remember that vocal part? Remember the female vocals in that? Pretty steamy stuff. Those would be my top two just off the top of my head right now. I love this question. Reason behind small hairs. There is not a period. There is not a question mark. I mean, this is just an open-ended, poetic thought that was submitted. I'm guessing you're asking me why I choose to wear my hair short, why I choose to cut it short, keep it short. Years ago, I shaved my head, and that just got me right in the zone of taking on a more extreme look. And I found that wearing my hair super short gave me that opportunity to have an iconic, very striking silhouette. It also allowed me to play around with some androgyny that I've just loved doing. So yeah, I would have to say that the reason behind it was just enjoying the power of, divorcing my hair. What's your height and figure size? I'm like 6 feet tall, 5'11" and 3/4. 5'11" and like just a breath, a hair under 6 feet. So I will say 6 feet every time. It just sounds so good on paper. You know what I mean? Like it's powerful. 6 feet tall. Figure size. Let's see. I wear a dress size 4. Does that mean anything? I haven't really done a measurement in quite a while. I know that I wear a 34C up top. Maybe that helps you out. What exactly clicks you to came in naked news and become nude in front of public? Lots of guts needed. I get what you're trying to say with this question. Lots of guts needed to submit it as well. So thank you for sending this one in. I mean, I came from a world of burlesque. I never had a hesitation to be naked in public and to have my naked body observed. Never a hang up for me, never a scary or anxiety driven experience. I love sharing my naked body. So I had moved home to Toronto after living some years in New York City, and I had always heard about Naked News. One day I had the offer to come in and teach burlesque on Naked News. So if you go through the archives on Naked News, you'll see that that's my origin story. That's my beginnings. What's the funniest crazy story you have during your burlesque days? Also, how tall are your parents? Let's get parents out of the way first. Dad, 6'3", mom, 5'10". You get 6 feet tall out of that. Now, craziest, funniest, most embarrassing, let's be honest, burlesque story. Oh, this is one of my favorites. I was working at a club. I was the MC at a nightclub, and there was a handrail on the second level that I used to climb over, and it opened up into a horseshoe that was on top of all the guests and patrons below. So I used to climb over this handrail, and I was suspended from a point in the ceiling, wearing a rock climbing harness. All of me, all 5'11" and 3/4 of me, swinging above patrons of a nightclub. I'm talking about maybe 150 people down there. A bit of an intimate space. And I was opening the show that night and planning to sing Material Girl, Madonna. And I remember I had a beautiful Madonna wig on, more of a Marilyn, let's be honest. That's what she was doing back then anyways. I was covered in jewelry. I had a large fur stole draped over me, gorgeous crystal encrusted pasties. Like, she looked her best. And right as that song started, the spotlight hit me. I had the microphone in my hand. the lowering begins. This was always how we did it. We would lower me like the fucking cow going into the dinosaur pen in Jurassic Park, okay? I was being lowered in like a feast for these patrons. And the song starts, and right there is my opening line. Some boys kiss me, some boys hug me. And I was not on the right channel. The microphone was not on the right channel, so immediately no one's hearing anything. So I have to start vocalizing and screaming these lyrics at the top of my lungs while clutching this microphone. It was too high to drop it from above. As I'm continuing my lowering down, a little mechanism that kept the ropes running clean through back and forth, lowering me down, got tangled into the wig. So I'm now visible to everyone with a microphone that doesn't work and a wig that is about to be snatched from my head. I had just shaved my head a couple days prior as well, so it wasn't like they were going to get a reveal that was anything classy. It was going to be shocking. I'm being lowered, hand lowered by a guy on a pulley system on the second level. As he's lowering me, I'm trying to wave frantically, "Stop what you're doing." And he continues to lower. Bless his heart. Oh, God. I was very angry for a moment in time. My hair, the wig, got caught in the pulley contraption and was suspended, dangling above me as I continued to be lowered, now bald, scream singing to the audience the lyrics of Material Girl. Nothing about this performance looked, sounded, gave the effect of something expensive. So the whole allure of it was just out the window. As I'm being lowered, the wig stays suspended about a foot from my face. I'm coming down. The whole audience is just, they're not even supportive. It's not like they're, pity clapping. They're in shock. They're in total shock. I happen to know all the faces in the room that night, which is never a good feeling. As I get down with my feet finally on the ground, thinking that this nightmare is over, the choreography that we had rehearsed originally had me lifted back into the air. So once again, there I am. I'm panicking, trying to keep this harness on now that I realize he's pulling me back up. I thought I was in the clear for an escape, but you can't go against a rehearsed plan when you're in the moment of production, especially when you're doing something as dangerous as this. So I'm being lifted back into the air, bald, wig dangling above me, microphone completely invalid at this point. I remembered the other element that we had included in this performance, and that was to have someone from the top deck, one of our other performers, take a large handful of glitter and sprinkle it down so that all the glamour of Laura Desiree approaching this audience from above, would be carried out with a final big bang. Now, I'm guessing that the palms of this glitter holder had just been sweating as she watched this nightmare ensue, because by the time that she chucked that ball of glitter, it had been encased in a sweat that kept it so crushed, compacted, and the entire thing came and landed directly on my forehead. And like a breaking ball, it just exploded. Let's just say the worst performance experience of my life. What's your favorite part of a man's body? My favorite part of anyone's body is jawline. I love the jaw. I love to hover in this general region. I'm a big neck to shoulder person. Anywhere in this land, I am going to be loitering. I want to go jaw to neck to shoulders and across. That's where I like to live. That's where I do all my work. This is what I look for. This is what turns me on. I love this general region. And I don't need it to be buff. I just need it to be visible. Okay, which Dragon Ball do you like? I only know Z, so I like Dragon Ball Z. That's the one I'm choosing. Is it possible we see you in the adult industry as performer? Maybe. Not anytime soon. I can't say it's anything that's on my immediate to-do list. I do love the porn industry. I'm a big porn consumer. So, big respect and applause for those people. Holy hell. Let's sex. This one comes in quite often as well. No. There you go. You have a sexy figure. How? Thank you, first and foremost. What can I say? It gets harder and harder every day. every passing day of my life, we get older and there are more requirements to maintaining and really taking control of the body that you want to put out there. So it's not easy. It's really exhausting trying to find time to fit in a little hit cardio every day. Real sex me, darling, please. Not sure what that is, but no. Is it okay for your lover to worship your webbed feet? Ooh, you've been listening. You know things about me, huh? Yeah, it's absolutely allowed. My gosh, get below me and worship them. Get under them. They're fabulous, and you're absolutely right. Those of you who don't know, they're webbed, just the first two next to the big toe. They're held real tight together, and for many years of my life, this was something I was quite insecure about. I actually used to take a pen and draw a line between them. If I had to go out anywhere, or maybe hit a public pool, or be in open-toe shoes. I'm serious, it used to be a big insecurity of mine. Now I love it. It's such a weird thing. I like to play with them and try and pull them apart. So yes, worship my feet. What is your cost? And when you broke your virginity? My cost? My goodness, you sent this message over an Instagram exchange. You guys, let's get one thing clear. If you're looking to do negotiations with sex workers or hopefully confirm services, don't do it over a platform like Instagram. Okay, go direct. A lot of people that are offering those services have ways that you can connect with them directly, safely, and discreetly. Don't do it over Instagram, okay? That thing is public as fuck. And when you broke your virginity, at the end of 16, that's when. Moving on. When you'll be back in Italy. I had such a great time in Milan last year. I've been to Italy a bunch of times. I've been as far as Amalfi Coast. I've been Tuscany, obviously Rome, Venice. I love Italy. I always eat and drink far too much when I'm there, but that is what it's all about. I love Italy. I hope I'm going back there very soon. What's your favorite Disney movie? Oh, tough one. Man, I really, really love Sleeping Beauty. I really love Peter Pan. Those are my leading two. Ooh, favorite sandwich. Are you ready for this? I like a giant, disgusting, delicious Reuben from Katz's Deli in the Lower East Side in Manhattan, honeys. I love it. Are you bisexual? I just, this is one that I get and it feels like a dated question. Remember when like bisexual was the strangest thing you could be? And I mean strange as like unique. I'm not saying strange as in a detriment to your success in this life. I'm attracted to a person because they happen to flow with my chemistry. They capture my attention. They make the moment feel cinematic. That's what I look for. So it really doesn't matter. I'm not here saying anyone is restricted from the opportunity to have me fall deeply in love with them. So know that. Is your show with Romy Rain coming back? Maybe. Maybe somewhere down the line, somewhere down the crazy river, it might be coming back. We certainly did close the book on it. So maybe somewhere down the line, I absolutely would love to put some more recorded conversations with that wild one out onto the platforms and into your ears. Are you lesbian? I wouldn't identify as a lesbian. I love lesbians. I think they're fabulous people. But I don't consider myself lesbian. I don't know what I really consider myself at this point. Someone that likes everything. What's the term for that? I know there's one. When can we go on a date? I know the person that sent this, and I happen to love this individual, so I'm letting you know, as soon as we can get close, let's go out and really live it up. Hi. Do I have pleasure to know more about you on personal message? I mean, we can talk in DM. You might be on the other side of my DMs, to be honest. I don't know you. I've never heard of you. I did not go further to investigate you. It's unlikely that I will, but sure, try the comments on my social medias though. That's more visible, and oftentimes that's where I'm going to go when I'm looking to interact. So I'd get me there. Can you reply me in personal messages? Please refer to my most recent answer. What makes you feel successful or fulfilled in a single day? Ugh, that's a tough one. I mean, how the hell do you not make it about social media these days? You'd all be lying to yourselves if you didn't agree with me that, yeah, getting likes, getting comments, getting views, getting clicks, all of that feels good because that's how we're wired these days. Other than that, it would have to be hearing from someone who I haven't heard from in a long time. In a weird way, when people reach out to me after being, invisible or being uncommunicative for a long amount of time, it lets you know that you're thinking about them. So when I hear from someone, it makes me feel very, very, very fulfilled to know that I have that lasting impression. So if you're out there in the woodwork and we haven't talked in 20 plus years, what are you waiting for? Let's go, make me feel good. Can I book a private show with you? I've tried the Zoom burlesque thing. It's not my favorite. I have a hard time performing without the audible sounds of you all enjoying it. So let's see, maybe. I do live streaming shows through the link in my bio, and that takes you to an account called Tempted.com. On Tempted, I host weekly shows there where I usually open it with a burlesque number. So I would try and catch me there if you want to check out some of that intimate vibe in my performance element inside my workshop and my wonderland. So I would follow me there and get in touch with me there. And that's going to wrap it up for the Ask Me Anything that was submitted September 8th on my Instagram. So guess what, everyone? We're going to be doing this every single week. Make sure that you're following along on my Instagram so that you can have the chance to ask me anything and get the answer right here on my YouTube. Until then, be good to each other and, of course, subscribe to this channel. See you next time.